Teisha with Shalom TV's News Update. The American Jewish community may be finding itself disturbed with the decision of President Obama. When members of the Jewish community first heard that President Obama might nominate former Senator Chuck Hagel to be the next U.S. Secretary of Defense, many Jewish organizations expressed serious concern, among them the American Jewish Committee and the Anti-Defamation League. Now, with President Obama's actual nomination of Hagel, some in the Jewish community seem to be repositioning themselves. The National Jewish Democratic Council, who previously had been critical of Hagel's stance on Israel, including an article that has since been deleted from their website about Hagel's questionable Israel record, now says it is confident that Hagel will follow the president's pro-Israel record. The NJDC said, while we have expressed concerns in the past, we trust that when confirmed, former Senator Chuck Hagel will follow the president's lead of providing unrivaled support for Israel on strategic cooperation, missile defense programs, and leading the world against Iran's nuclear program. The Anti-Defamation League still voiced some concern over Hagel. ADL National Director Abe Foxman said that while Hagel would not have been his first choice to fill the position, he respects the president's prerogative. Foxman also said, "I trust that the confirmation process will provide an opportunity for Senator Hagel to address concerns about his positions, which seemed so out of sync with President Obama's clear commitment on issues like Iran sanctions, isolating Hamas and Hezbollah, and the president's strong support for a deepening of U.S.-Israel strategic cooperation." Foxman also expressed hope that Hagel would explain his comments about the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, or AIPAC, that many in the Jewish community found offensive, referring to a comment Hagel made saying, quote, "The Jewish lobby intimidates a lot of people." The ADL had expressed concerns about Hagel in the past, saying that Hagel's record relating to Israel and the U.S.-Israel relationship was, quote, "at best disturbing and at worst very troubling," unquote. The American Jewish Committee reacted to the nomination with serious concerns and said it looked forward to the Senate's careful examination of Hagel's record on key issues. AJC Executive Director David Harris said there are serious concerns about Hagel's commitments to the efficacy of sanctions and a credible military option against Iran. On pressing the European Union to designate Hezbollah as a terrorist organization, on sustaining the U.S. policy on the terrorist Hamas regime in Gaza, and on the special nature of the U.S.-Israel relationship and Israel's quest for peace and security. Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz released the following statement on the Hagel nomination, saying President Obama's nomination of Chuck Hagel as Secretary of Defense risks increasing the likelihood that Iran will develop nuclear weapons. It poses that risk because Hagel is well known for his opposition both to sanctions against Iran and to employing the military option if necessary. American rabbinical students studying in Israel delivered more than 700 letters expressing concern about Israeli settlement expansion to the office of Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Monday. In an initiative organized by Rabbis for Human Rights North America, J Street, and Americans for Peace Now, more than 700 rabbis, cantors, rabbinical students, and cantorial students expressed their concern over the Israeli government's advancement of construction plans in the controversial E1 area of the West Bank that connects Ma'ale Adumim to Jerusalem. The initiative is a continuation of a letter-writing campaign that began back in December. Republican Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, who is a strong opponent of U.S. foreign aid, said on Monday that the U.S. is and always will be a friend of Israel, but thinks it, quote, "will be harder and harder to be a friend if we are out of money." Paul was speaking to the Jerusalem Institute for Market Studies during his first visit to Israel this weekend. Paul said he was not suggesting disengagement or that the U.S. should stop selling armaments, but said it wouldn't be a one-way street, it would be a sale, not a grant. He also said he was, quote, "all for gradualism," unquote, as far as cutting foreign aid, and would start ending foreign aid to those countries who don't act as allies towards Israel. Paul was set to meet on Monday with Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu and President Shimon Peres, and then travel to Jordan on Tuesday to meet with Jordan's King Abdullah II as well as with Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas. Rabbi Erwin Groner, a former president of the Rabbinical Assembly, the International Association of Conservative Rabbis, died at the age of 81. Groner, who led Congregation Shaarei Tzedek in Detroit for more than 4 decades, passed away in a Detroit hospital on December the 30th. He had been suffering from Parkinson's disease. Groner served as president of the Rabbinical Assembly from 1990 to 1992 and called it the highlight of his professional career. He was also a member of the Board of Governors for the Jewish Federation of Metropolitan Detroit, the Rabbinic Cabinet of the United Jewish Appeal, and the Board of Governors of the United Synagogue. He is survived by his wife, 2 children, and 3 grandchildren. And that's Shalom TV's News Update. I'm Teisha Bader.